Good evening, everyone. This is Melissa Thomas of Florida National News coming to you with the evening news rundown for your Monday, July 27th, 2020. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. And hey, if you are someone that is interested in advertising, you can reach us at ads@floridanationalnews.com. We would love to get you started if you are interested in that. Ads@floridanationalnews.com. Now, speaking of getting started, you guys know we like to give you the latest reports for COVID-19 globally here in the United States and in the state of Florida. Now, globally speaking, the World Health Organization is reporting over 16 million confirmed COVID-19 cases right now and over 646,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the United States, Johns Hopkins is reporting over 4.2 million confirmed cases and nearly 147,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the state of Florida, the Department of Health is reporting over 432,000 confirmed cases and now nearly 6,000 confirmed deaths. Now, jumping into our world story today, the UK has removed Spain from its list of safe places to travel following the recent surge of COVID-19 cases in Spain. The Department for Transport in the UK issued a statement late Saturday warning that as of midnight on Saturday their time, anyone traveling from vacation in Spain would have to self-isolate. Their statement says in part, quote, following a significant change over the last week in both the level and pace of change in confirmed cases, Spain has been removed from the list of countries where people do not have to self-isolate when arriving in the UK. Now, people who are already on vacation in Spain were being urged to return home as normal and check the Foreign Office's advice pages for further information. So far, Spain has reported over 900 new daily infections for the last 2 days. And of course, as you guys have heard us report, Britain has Europe's worst outbreak with over 45,800 confirmed coronavirus-related deaths. So if you're watching us and you're from over there, please continue to be careful. Now, speaking of self-isolation, Washington, D.C. here in the United States has chosen to issue a 2-week quarantine from hotspot states there as well. You guys heard us report last Friday about the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, instituting a quarantine from 31 hotspot states. Now, D.C. is doing the same. Mayor Muriel Bowser made this announcement, which comes days after Bowser actually did a face mask mandate recently as well, as long as you're venturing outdoors in the nation's capital. So if you're traveling to Washington, D.C. or returning to Washington, D.C. from any of those hotspot states, you will have to isolate. You will have to isolate either in your residence or in your hotel for 14 days. And there are no visitors, only leaving for essential reasons such as medical treatment. There you go. Now, there are some exceptions, including the state of Virginia, which was one of the hotspot states. But anyone traveling from Maryland or Virginia, because those two are the neighboring states for Washington, D.C., anyone in those states can travel freely to and from Washington, D.C. Now, coming to the state of Florida, Florida has now surpassed New York State in total number of COVID-19 cases. And that Florida right now is the second highest state in the United States as COVID-19 cases go, second only to California. California right now is leading the country with more than 440,000 cases as of Friday. Now, the outbreak in Florida has exploded over the last several weeks, but on the plus side, the daily case count has started to trend downward again as a 7-day moving average. Right now, the state's daily new case average has decreased more than 9% as of last Friday, so that's a bit of good news. On the flip side, though, Florida's death and hospitalization rates have been steadily increasing. Florida has reported, on average, 121 daily deaths as of Friday, which is about a 21% increase from last week. And the number of people hospitalized due to COVID-19 is up by 14% on average. So again, you guys, like we always tell you here at Florida National News, continue to guard your hands, wash them, glove them, sanitize them, wear your mask, and practice safe social distancing. I'll keep saying that until we're finally free of this thing. We care about your safety. We definitely want you guys to keep you and your family safe while you're out there. Now, on another bit of good news for the state of Florida, just over 11% of tests are coming back positive as of Friday. So that's a decrease in the positivity rate from 15% back in June. So there is some silver lining going on the horizon for the state of Florida. And we'll continue to keep you guys updated on that. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with some more stories for you.
Big business and special interest groups have begun their attacks on Rick Singh on social media, radio, television. They want to make sure he's no longer in office. Have someone, anyone but Rick Singh in office. And the reason is simple. They don't want to pay their fair share and expect you to pay it for them. Now, the question is, do you want to pay it for them?
Welcome back, guys. Now jumping into another U.S. story for you, jumping over to Oakland, California. You likely heard over the weekend that a protest in Oakland kind of escalated as it got later into the evening, and some set fire to a courthouse and began to vandalize the area. What began as a peaceful protest in support of racial justice and police reform turned violent when certain, quote, agitators decided to break free from the other protesters, and they set fire to a courthouse, namely the Alameda County Superior Courthouse. They set fire to that courthouse, which was quickly contained. That's the good news there. They vandalized the police station and shot fireworks at officers, according to authorities there. About 700 demonstrators had participated in the peaceful march, and then some broke away on Saturday night. At about 11:30, the authorities there ruled it an unlawful assembly. There was some video footage of someone kicking over the barricades once that ruling was made. And police report that protesters at one point were, quote, breaking windows and chanting racial slurs at the residents. But this brings us to our audience question. There's a lot going on in our nation at the moment, but what are your thoughts on ongoing protests? Because much of the country is now back to focusing on COVID-19 and staying safe, and then now the increasing public debate about returning to school for their children, those who have children and families. But what are your thoughts on ongoing protests? Do you think that they're still necessary? Do you think folks can stop doing that now? Leave us your thoughts below. Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you guys. Now, speaking of school, we're going to jump back down to the state of Florida. In Orange County, particularly District 5 in Orange County, residents were able to get some free school supplies as the school registration deadlines loomed. Orange County Commissioner Emily Bonilla held a back to school drive at the Bithlo Community Center. So parents were able to pick up free backpacks filled with school supplies. And of course, this is as families begin to weigh their options between whether they want their children to attend school in person or to attend using distance learning. Now, Commissioner Bonilla was saying that the free supplies came at a time when many parents were struggling to make ends meet because, again, COVID-19 is still here, and a lot of folks are still struggling. A lot of folks are still struggling for income. Their work has been affected by that. So not only are they weighing their economic options, but they're having to weigh the safety of their children. Now, in terms of the registration deadline, Orange County Public Schools said the deadline to register was last Friday, but officials had extended it until 5 p.m. today. So if you were waiting to register your kids for school, hopefully you got that done today. Parents had to pick one of 3 learning models. You heard us report these before. It was either face-to-face learning, Orange County Virtual School, or the Launch Ed at Home, which is a distance learning program that mirrors face-to-face instruction by having cameras follow the teachers while in the classroom to give students that sort of in the classroom experience. Now, school officials said so far that it has received around 140,000 registrations out of 212,000 students. So a lot of the families have preferred distance learning so far. Very interesting. Now we're going to take another quick commercial break and come back with your business and sports stories.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. In our business story, Rosen Hotels has chosen to reopen 2 of its hotels after months-long coronavirus closure, which is a bit of a ray of hope on that area. They're signaling that slow return of tourism to Orlando. So as of Sunday, the Rosen Plaza and the Rosen Inn welcome guests back on Sunday. So congrats to those two establishments. Of course, they are located on International Drive, and they have put new safety measures in place to keep guests and employees safe from COVID-19, including the face mask requirement. Everyone must wear a face mask there and have their temperature checked at the door. Also, plexiglass partitions separate guests from staff, and there are hand sanitizer stations everywhere. So that's a good addition. Also, furniture in shared areas is socially distanced now. And to clean the rooms, they now have electrostatic guns to be able to go ahead and sanitize the rooms. Of course, back in April, you heard us talk about the Rosen hotels closing due to the travel slump because of the quarantine. And unfortunately, because of that, Harris Rosen had to make the very tough decision for him to lay off a lot of his staff. Now, so far, the general manager at the Rosen Plaza has said that 70% of its staff has returned. So that's good news for the staff there. Now, jumping into sports, a couple of quick sports updates for you. You guys heard us report back on Friday that President Trump said he was going to go ahead and throw that first pitch at the Yankees game on August 15th. Well, he has decided to cancel that. He won't be taking his place in history just yet. So he mentioned in a tweet on Sunday that due to work responsibilities, he won't be able to do that ceremonial first pitch. He won't be at the game at all. He mentioned that he has a, quote, strong focus on the COVID-19 pandemic and the economy. So there you go. He said he will make it up later on in the season. We shall see. Now, in another quick sports update coming here to Orlando, the Orlando Magic has teamed up with the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition, which is the nonprofit that is aimed at restoring voting rights to former felons who have served their prison time. The players have their own vote shirt that says "Get off the bench, get involved and vote." Now, originally, the players had worn these shirts at the beginning of July when they reported to the bubble, the NBA bubble, at the ESPN Wild World Sports Complex. And fans saw the shirts and loved them, wanted to know where they could get them, but at the time they weren't available. But as of today, the Magic has announced in partnership with the FRRC that the shirts are now available. So if you wish to support the cause, if you wish to support the FRRC, you can go ahead and purchase the shirts at the website below, and all proceeds from the purchase of those shirts goes towards the organization. So there you go. Now we're going to take another quick commercial break and come back with your entertainment story. Stay tuned.
It takes experience to know the difference in property values. For example, this business is not the same as this business. And this house is definitely not the same as this house. And this, well, this is definitely not the same as this. And that's why it's important to have someone who understands true property appraisals to help our community grow, while making sure everyone pays their fair share. Because experience matters. Re-elect Rick Singh for Orange County Property Appraiser.
All right, guys, welcome back as we wrap up with your entertainment story, and we have more delays. Paramount Pictures has decided to push back A Quiet Place Part 2 and Top Gun Maverick to 2021. Now, of course, this is coming on the heels of Disney's announcement last week, pushing back several of its productions. You guys heard us report on that last week. But A Quiet Place 2, which is, of course, John Krasinski's film, that will be pushed back to that was originally set to release September 4th this year and is now being pushed back to April 23rd of next year, while Tom Cruise's Top Gun Maverick, that was set to premiere on December 23rd of this year and is now being pushed back to July 1st of next year. So this marks the second time that the films have been pushed back to the COVID-19 pandemic, which is delaying theater reopenings and, of course, the production delays that it caused as well. The Paramount president of domestic distribution, Chris Aronson, said, quote, "We truly believe that there is no movie viewing experience like the one enjoyed in theaters." And his international colleague, Mark Viane, said, quote, "We are committed to the theatrical experience and our exhibition partners and want to stress that we are confident that when the time comes, audiences everywhere will once again enjoy the singular joy of seeing Paramount films on the big screen." So, hey, for those of you who are film lovers like me, you are biting your fingernails. You are just eager to see a really good movie. But we will continue to keep you guys posted and updated with all of that. Now, that does it here for us at the Evening News Rundown today. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow, we will have FNN Politics and Power. And this week is actually our Ambassador Week. So tomorrow, we will be interviewing Ambassador Yolanda Smith, who is Grenada's ambassador to the United States. So tune in to our interview at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 Central, and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And of course, tomorrow is Tuesday, so Casey Hudson will be back with the FNN Sports Take at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. And of course, you'll see me again in the evening for the evening news rundown at 5 p.m. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. You'll find us at Florida National News on Facebook, on YouTube, and Instagram. And a couple of our other extra pages on Facebook include FNN News Live and FNN News TV. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening. Take care.